Yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Blank back here on Resident Evil 4, Part 17 today here in the series of this playthrough. If you guys are new to the channel, I greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. The like goal for today's video, ladies and gentlemen, is 17. Since we are on the 17th episode here of this series, quite poetic. But for giving you guys a little bit of a recap of last episode, you guys would have known we managed to survive the minecart ride from hell. But unfortunately, things aren't really looking too hot. As you guys saw, my inventory is quite barren and devoid of ammo. To give you guys the full recap of what I'm currently working with and why you might see me sort of knifing people on the ground. Currently, I'm working with 100 bullets in TMP. No ammo whatsoever to speak of for my handgun. 20 shells, just roughly about, for my shotgun. My trusty Magnum, I have 12 to 10 shots in. And then for my sniper, I have, I think, like less than 10 bullets. So we're doing pretty rough here to start off this episode. So that's why we might have to slow things down in terms of the pace and why you see me knifing people to try to recuperate some of the ammo we lost. And I actually know where we lost mainly most of our ammo. It wasn't just from the minecart ride. It was also from that one room that I pointed out that I shouldn't have entered. I really didn't know how bad I was doing for ammo management and the lack thereof. But, you know, I think we should be able to manually truck along with no problems for the most part. Might end up dying here and there. We'll see about that. Especially considering we have a boss fight here in today's video. I'm not going to spoil it. For those who don't know and have never watched RE4, I'm just going to say that we do have a boss fight up and coming today here in this episode. And I'm not going to be using an RPG for that, because I want to give you guys a real fight, and if worst comes to worst, I will use the RPG, you know, to keep the playthrough going, keep it trucking along, but I'm going to try to do everything in my power to defeat this boss without using the RPG, which is something I don't think I've actually done in like maybe 3-4 years. I mainly used RPG or the Magnum, and I can't really use the Magnum since there's going to be a really harder boss up and coming in maybe like 4 to 5 episodes time. So I kind of need to save all the Magnum shots I got for that boss. So I can't just, you know, waste it all on the one up and coming here in today's episode. So lastly, I just want to say that, do you guys like it when I talk over cutscenes, or do you not? Leave it down in the comment section below. Let me know your feedback on that. I'm always curious. I don't remember if I've asked that before, especially here in this series. But if you guys don't, I won't talk over the rest of the series when cutscenes are playing. But for today's episode, I'm just going to let it roll through. I'm not going to talk over it, and then I'll resume my commentary about what it is I'm talking about. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, let you know what's what about that. And so continuing on the topic of RE4, I want to ask you guys, the guys that mainly predominantly play Mercenaries mode after they've beaten the story once, I want to ask you all a question really quickly. If in the RE4 remake, like somehow speculated, this isn't confirmed, but if the RE4 remake in the Mercenary mode is not in the core game and it is something separate you have to pay for, like let's say like $20, would you guys still pay for RE4 the remake, or would you refuse to buy it outright? Personally, if I were in your shoes and that was one of the reasons I was buying the game after I beat the story once, I personally would not. Mainly because I don't like it when companies try to sell me on something that I've already paid for. But really quickly, I'll pick up back on this topic after this cutscene's played out. Sorry about that. I'll pick up. So as I was saying before I got interrupted by the cutscene, sorry about that. I didn't want to talk over this one and the next one that's coming up here, but if I was going to try to justify having it as a add-on, even though I heavily dislike it and I'm completely against it, if I were going to add something to the mercenary mode, it would probably be a perk system. Now, I'd probably limit to each character that you're playing as, whether it be co-op or single by yourself. I would have it be either you picked 1 or 2 perks. And I have the first perk, even though it's just a basic concept. Now, you don't have to obviously completely ADS in RE4 to reload, but it would be really nice to just have the ability to reload without having to ADS at all. So that would be my first perk, just being able to reload without having to ADS at all. My second one would be able to have the ability to move left to right and maybe even backwards and forwards much faster while ADSing, instead of just having to be forced to stand in place. And my third and final concept of a perk would be if you were shooting like someplace in the chest consecutively, after each and every shot, if you shoot that same area, it does more and more damage with each and every bullet. Obviously, you would have to cap that out, or else that would be extremely powerful. But you know, obviously, just concepts and ideas. The developers would have much better way of trying to balance that out than I would personally, as just a guy who plays RE4 randomly. And on that topic, I guess that also would really go for the separate ways and what's the other Ada game mode? I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but even though I've pretty much never touched those game modes after I unlocked the Tommy gun and the night suit for Ashley and the Chicago typewriter, I still definitely would not justify those game modes as being add-ons, even though they're not vocal parts of the game. Not everyone loves them. Some people might not have ever even touched separate ways as a game mode. It's not the best. You know, I definitely think it could be improved in some areas in terms of the story. It felt kind of sluggish. And the last thing I want to talk about before I get off the topic of mercenaries is, honestly, I'd be fine if they wanted to like add something like costumes, if they really wanted to try to, you know, milk the mercenary mode for some money. I'd be fine with that, but I wouldn't price them at anything like super crazy, like $20 a piece. Like, I think that's personally really unacceptable unless they were going to do like one big bundle with all the skins on them. If I was going to do a pricing for them, like no matter how good they look, I would personally only price them at like $2 a piece, like just like it was for Black Ops 2 when they were selling like weapon skins. I think that's pretty fair. I think everyone would be fine with, you know, if they saw a skin for their character that they liked, that they would be fine with paying $2 a piece for each one. And if they wanted to get them all, they could just pay for a big bundle if they decide to go down that route of, you know, throwing in some skins for the mercenary mode. But now I want to get into my last topic here of this video, and that is, and the last topic here I want to discuss for the remainder of this video is talking about the direction I want to see the story of RE9 go down. And some people have speculated that RE9 will contain and predominantly feature Chris being the main character, and him maybe finishing out and closing his story. If that does come true, even though we have no idea what stage of development RE9 is currently in, I definitely agree going down that path, and I do believe that is the right choice if they decide to go down it. Because at this point in the game, I don't know what more Chris could realistically do, and I want to see his story come to an end, and I want to see him pass down the torch to someone else, or just be able to retire peacefully. And one of the people I would have him pass the torch to would be having either Claire, Rebecca, or Sheva return as a side character for him, and, you know, have them sort of, go throughout the story with him in my personal iteration of RE9. So I'm going to pick up this topic here after this cutscene plays out. I'll see you guys after that.
You just missed her. The ritual is over. To an island.
What?
I think it's time I paid my due respects towards your impressive and stubborn will. Mr. Kennedy, welcome.
Monsters. Guess after this there'll be one less to worry about.
So, as I was saying, before I got interrupted by the cutscene, I was saying that I would like to really see Chris also undergo some serious character development and RE9 to close out his story, him mainly predominantly being the main character. One of my biggest gripes with Chris, especially during RE5, is that he doesn't really go under any sort of like really big character development. And during RE6, even though this is kind of a spoiler, in a sense, he has this problem where he's really jaded and he's really angry at himself. I'm mainly guessing that, he's this survivor and he always is able to kill the BOWs that he's fighting at the end of the day, but it really doesn't make a change, and he doesn't have the ability to carry out his mission with his team members without them dying, either at the end or halfway through or at the beginning. And he's really mad at himself for that, but it doesn't really go anywhere in RE6. It's just kind of sort of swept under the rug up until the very end, where they briefly pick it back up, but it doesn't go anywhere. And one of the things I would like to see is, him passing down the torch, like I mentioned before, to Shove and have him finish his work and have him retire from the lines. So let me know down in the comments section below, what characters would you like to see RE9 feature if it is not Chris? Personally, like I said, I would like to definitely see Claire, Rebecca, or Jill take up the spot for the main character of RE9. I believe that fits very well, considering we have pretty much not seen Rebecca since RE0, which has been God knows how long. I think it's been like 6, maybe 7 years at this point. I might be wrong in saying that. Jill hasn't had a role since RE3, so I think that would be real nice to introduce these characters back into the spotlight. And sorry about this, my controller unfortunately died. So I think we're pretty much closing up here on this video. I think we only have like 1 or 2 more shots here to put into Salazar. I actually thought I was going to kill him like way sooner. I didn't think I would put this many Magnum shots into him. I thought he would like take maybe like only 6, but he's pretty tanky. Like I said, like I've never really fought him like this before, but I wanted to give you guys a real fight instead of just blowing past him like he did nothing and just wasting him with the rocket launcher. But that's it here for this video. If you guys are new to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button. If you want to stay notified for all the videos that get posted here on this channel, and when they get posted, you're going to have to click on that subscribe button. Click on the bell icon. It's the personalized. You click on all so you're notified when that does happen. So, Remember guys, today's like goal is 17 likes, and I will see each and every one of you guys in the next video. See ya.